A Kentucky man who once worked at an Orlando nightclub where 49 people were killed talks to us about his thoughts after the attack.
Police arrest a man they say kidnapped a mentally challenged child in southern Kentucky. What the girl's family told us about those frightening moments.
I pulled him out to check his vitals to see if he was even responsive.
A man now on trial for a high-profile Lexington murder takes the stand and says he tried to save the victim's life.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Tonight we're tracking some storms that are moving across parts of Kentucky.
And a few of them have been severe at times. We begin tonight with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey.
Yeah, guys, a lot of those thunderstorms to our west and southwest packing a big-time punch. A little wind damage across Louisville where we have flash flood warnings that are also in effect. And we're following that line of storms that is increasing across parts of southern Kentucky and some additional storms that are going up out ahead of that main line. So your Defender Radar Network getting awfully busy, and our skies into central Kentucky getting busy as well. Strong thunderstorm that is right on top now of Lake Cumberland to the south of Russell Springs, right around Jamestown. That is lifting its way on to the north and northeast, right along 127. Get over to sections of Corbin, London, and down into Williamsburg. Some general run-of-the-mill showers and thunderstorms that extends all the way up into parts of Lincoln County. Lexington Metro in good shape for now. That will change coming up here in the next hour and change as we see some of the rains getting into parts of Anderson County, maybe extreme southwestern Franklin County. These storms no longer considered to be severe, but packing a lot of lightning and a ton of heavy rain. Very strong thunderstorm, by the way, going up to the northeast of the Campbellsville area. 3D Defender showing that the overall vertical development of these storms really coming down a little bit. If anything, that storm around Campbellsville spiking way up there compared to the surrounding storms. And that line again is trying to come together with that stuff across southern Kentucky to work toward the east and northeast. But your future radar shows that line begins to weaken the closer it gets to the I-75 corridor, and by the time it reaches eastern Kentucky, really begins to ramp down. Coming up in a few minutes, guys, we'll track the storms that are out there now and talk about another round or two of severe weather possible for tomorrow.
More questions are being raised tonight about the past of the man police say killed 49 people and injured many others in an attack at a gay nightclub in Orlando. The FBI is now looking into reports that Omar Mateen had been a regular at Pulse nightclub and had even used gay dating apps. Many customers of the club claim they had seen him there a number of times. Sources are telling CBS News that Mateen also visited Disney World more than once, possibly to survey it as a target. They say his wife even went along during one of the visits.
Also today, doctors said 6 of the more than 50 people injured are still listed in critical condition. Today, a Kentucky man who once worked at Pulse opened up to us about how the attack has affected him. That begins our top story team coverage.
Chills ran down my arm, just cold chills. Oh my God, those are my people. What do you do?
George Reed lives in Brownsville, Kentucky. But for 18 years, he lived and worked in Orlando and at times Pulse nightclub. So when he heard about Saturday's massacre, the questions began racing through his mind.
Where are my friends? Are they okay? Were they at work? That's the first thing that hit my mind, and how can I find out quickly?
Erica Dunlap is a former Miss America and Orlando native who frequents the nightclub herself.
The manager of the establishment texted me at 9:30 that night asking me to come hang out. And if I was not an hour and a half away at another event, I probably would have been there that night.
Erica knew 3 people who lost their lives at the hand of the shooter and several others who lived through the tragedy.
One of my girlfriends was trapped in that place for 3 hours, waiting to die.
Both George and Erica are still coping with the horror of that night, but want to make sure these lives weren't lost in vain.
If we sit back and do nothing, nothing is gained. I do believe in the Second Amendment right that we all have the right to bear arms, but not everybody is mentally capable. To me, if you've been on an ISIS list and been checked out 3 times, and you can still go in and buy an assault rifle, we have a problem.
I think this is a great chance for the city of Orlando to really band together and show the whole world how to do this thing.
George and Erica performed their act, The Odd Couple, at Pulse nightclub as recently as July of last year.
More vigils are being planned across this state to honor the 49 people who died in the attack at the Pulse nightclub. One of them will be held tonight in Moorhead. Garrett Weimer talked to organizers of the vigil. He continues our top story team coverage.
Rowan County was at the center of controversy over LGBT rights last year when Clerk Kim Davis refused to issue marriage licenses. The group that led protests outside of her office is now standing with the LGBT community once again with a vigil tonight for victims of the shooting in Orlando. At a vigil downtown tonight, organizers say they want to help folks grieve and heal, but also to reach out to the LGBT community in Rowan County and show that they support them. They say that's more important than ever after Sunday's scary events.
You can be afraid. It's okay to be afraid. Everyone has that reaction to something horrible. But yet you also have to realize that you have to come together, support one another, care for one another. Let them know that it's okay and that they will be okay. Let people heal, feel the sense of community, and know that there's love.
The vigil starts at 8:30 here on the front lawn of the Rowan County Arts Center, which is the old courthouse here on East Main Street. Folks are asked to bring their own candle for the vigil. In Moorhead, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Organizers say they'll collect the candles from tonight's vigil and put them on a display for a moment of silence at Moorhead's first ever Pride celebration on August 27th. The CBS Evening News will have the very latest on the investigation into the attack in Orlando coming up shortly at 6:30. You'll also find updates on our website, WKYT.com, along with the WKYT News app.
Some disturbing accusations tonight against a Southern Kentucky man. Police claim he kidnapped an 11-year-old girl who was mentally challenged.
Police say that Donald Rice took the child from her Knox County home and drove off. And family members say it took a neighborhood effort to get her back. New at 6, Phil Pendleton talks to the girl's great-grandmother.
Joanne Stapleton says she put up a chain-link fence to protect her 11-year-old great-granddaughter, mainly to keep the mentally challenged child from wandering off. But somehow the child slipped out of the house Monday night. Police say Donald Rice was outside waiting for her.
He either opened this gate or took her across this railing.
Police say Rice then put the child in his truck and drove to a field about a half-mile away. That's when Stapleton says she and some neighbors sprang to action.
We almost wrecked trying to get to the truck. But when he got here at the driveway, I guess he knew we were after him.
The child was finally released and Rice was arrested.
Why he would take her at night up in a field, the only thing I can think of is bad intentions.
I called the jail to see if Donald Rice wanted to give us his side of the story. He declined, but according to the citation, he told police that he found the girl wandering in the middle of the roadway. But the girl's great-grandmother says she has many witnesses who say that's not what happened. Police say they've charged Rice with kidnapping of a minor.
Then it's a very serious charge. You got a small child involved. We're going to use every resource that we have to make sure that we locate that child.
He knew she was handicapped.
Relatives say they still don't know why Rice took the child. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Relatives say the child is not able to speak because of her mental disabilities.
A man now on trial for a high-profile Lexington murder says he tried to save the victim's life, not kill him. Mark Taylor took the stand in his own defense today. He's charged with murder and kidnapping for the 2013 death of Alex Johnson. As Victor Puente tells us, Taylor also put the blame on a man who's already pled guilty in the case.
Mark Taylor says he regrets not calling the police after Alex Johnson was beat to death. Prosecutors say the story he told the jury today was a lie and that he was the one who attacked Johnson. Alex Johnson's body was found in a barrel in the Kentucky River in January of 2014. Last week, Timothy Ballard testified that he helped Mark Taylor dump that body after Taylor beat Johnson to death. Today, Taylor said he had tried to stop Ballard from beating Johnson and had even tried to revive him.
I went back around to the driver's side and pulled Alex out, laid him long ways on the ground, tried to give him chest compressions. He was not responsive.
Prosecutors wanted to know why he called and texted Johnson's phone several times after he was dead. They suggested it was an effort to throw police off his trail.
If I knew that he was dead, then I knew that I was also the last person to be with him. So putting the police off on a random trail, there's no point in that. I'm already a suspect.
What do you mean, if you knew he was dead? You knew he was dead, didn't you?
Yes.
You're the one that killed him, aren't you?
No.
They also replayed surveillance video from Trust Lounge showing Taylor and Ballard entering just a few hours after Johnson had been killed. Prosecutors insisted he was being social because he was the one who'd killed Johnson. Taylor told jurors that in the days after Johnson's death, he used drugs and his friend's company to take his mind off of what had happened.
Are you telling anyone in this room that you behaved in a manner that was honorable?
It was cowardly.
That's all I have.
The trial resumes tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with closing arguments. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Timothy Ballard took a plea deal and agreed to testify against Taylor. He has not yet been sentenced.
New tonight, a truck driver has pled guilty to manslaughter and wanton endangerment for a deadly crash police say was caused by distracted driving. State police say that 23-year-old Miroslav Kuzmanovic faces up to 10 years in prison when he is sentenced in August. They say in May of 2015 he was distracted by a handheld device when his tractor trailer slammed into the back of a car on I-64 in Shelby County. Police say that sparked a chain reaction that involved 3 other vehicles. The driver of the car was killed. Police say traffic had slowed because of a stalled car in the shoulder.
Lexington firefighters say someone is pretending to be one of them and asking for donations. What they want you to know about this scam next.
And then why one of Lexington's largest public pools has been closed until further notice.
WKYT is putting the new back in late news with newer stories and more updates. So there's less repetition, which means no wasted time. WKYT News at 11. Newer, fresher, worth staying up for.
See a new you at Reflections Med Spa and Wellness Center. Don't miss our cool sculpting event. Call today for limited booking and free assessments. Reflections Med Spa and Wellness Center. Say hello to a new you.
If time is infinite, why is there never enough of it? A John Deere One Family tractor with Quick Park lets you attach and go. iMatch Quick Hitch gives you more time for what you love, so it takes less work to do more work. Auto Connect Drive Over Mower Deck? Done. They're not making any more land, but there's plenty of time if you know where to look.
Get the 1023E subcompact utility tractor for only $99 a month.
At Me Tractor, you get the best with a 72-month powertrain warranty.
The Ultimate Red Tag event is back at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond. Red Tags mean 15% off on select new Sierra pickups. Get a new GMC Terrain for $22,925. A new GMC Canyon, just $26,683. A new GMC Sierra, now $29,995. Or get 15% off a new Sierra 4x4, now $38,764. Plus, get the Adams Advantage, a limited lifetime powertrain warranty. The Ultimate Red Tag event only at Adams Buick GMC Truck in Richmond, where
Sid says sell them.
If you want to sell your house, you can call an ugly sign on the side of the road, or you can call a company with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. My name is Brian Evans, and I've been buying houses in Lexington for over 10 years. I can give you cash today. Call me at 859-278-HELP or go to 278help.com.
Kentucky Branded is your home for Father's Day and all things KY. New men's apparel, gifts, and more, all 20% off, plus an additional 50% off clearance. We are your state pride home for all things Kentucky. Fayette Mall, next to Saul Good. KentuckyBranded.com.
Who says mornings can't be happy? Not us. Introducing the DQ Hardest Working Happy Hour, with drinks that work even harder than you do, blending sweet flavors like never before. Only DQ has drinks that multitask in the morning even if you can't. Like $2 premium fruit smoothies, $2 ultimate frappes, and $1 iced coffees. Every weekday morning until 10:30 a.m. at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Treat yourself to summertime fun with a new Subaru from Quantrell. Discover why Subarus are preferred by people of all ages with active lifestyles. During June, own a new Forester for only $23,970 or lease it for just $221 per month. Or own a new Crosstrek for only $23,980 or lease it for just $231 per month. Summertime fun is waiting for you, so grab it with a new Subaru from Quantrell. We have great lease and finance specials during our huge summer sale.
Tonight, the Lexington Fire Department wants you to know about a scam that has them concerned.
Firefighters say a man is posing as a Lexington firefighter and asking for donations. They say he's done this at least twice so far at a business on Winchester Road and a home off Man o' War. One of the people approached said the man got angry when he didn't receive a donation. Lexington firefighters say they sometimes ask for donations in person, but they aren't right now.
If we're coming to ask for a donation, we're coming in usually in uniform with an ID and a badge. So if any time somebody that states they're from the Lexington Fire Department division, feel free to ask them for that ID and their badge.
The fire department has an investigator working on this case. Firefighters say it's possible there are others involved in this scam.
New tonight, Lexington city leaders say the main pool of the Southland Aquatic Center will be closed until further notice. They say the pool has some mechanical issues and needs repairs. No word, though, on how long that will take. City leaders say the Southland baby pool will stay open. Admission for that has been reduced to $1 for both children and adults.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Getting a little noisy into parts of central and southern Kentucky right now. Those thunderstorms on the move, packing a lot of lightning and a lot of rain. Let's get to our live sky cams from across the region. 3 of those sky cams now showing wet conditions. Corbin, E-Town, and Louisville, and parts of Jefferson County picking up 1 to 2 inches of rain over the past hour and change, leading to some flooding issues there. Lexington skies are getting dark right now. We look toward that western horizon with some showers and thunderstorms inching closer to the area, into the upper 80s still. Humidity's creeping up as well. What's happening, you've got these thunderstorms that are moving into some drier air, but those storms are also kind of unleashing a tropical atmosphere into the region. So the farther east you go, the better the chance you're going to stay dry for most of this evening. Then everybody gets in on the act as we go through the day tomorrow. Southern Kentucky, thunderstorms have been rumbling for the past couple of hours. Got a little complex around the Laurel County area, down into parts of Whitley County, Monticello, over toward Lake Cumberland, right on top of Russell Springs, Jamestown, southeastern parts of Adair County. Getting in on some torrential rains now, and in some of these areas, that's a second thunderstorm that has put down some heavy rain. Watch the creeks and the streams. Parts of Knox County into Laurel County, Pulaski, Whitley, extending to the north into Rockcastle County. A little thunder shower trying to pop here on top of Lancaster into Garrett County. Lexington Metro, nothing out there for now, though the skies, as we were just showing you, darkening with this weakening line of thunderstorms that is pushing into central Kentucky. So yes, we're going to get in on some showers and storms, but it's in a weakening phase right now, and the stuff that is heading into the bluegrass region. Strongest thunderstorm without question across our part of the world is now into southern parts of Marion County, heading toward Liberty into Casey County and maybe over into western parts of Boyle County. And additional thunderstorms here into southern Kentucky trying to team up with the stuff to the north. Problem with this, it's now losing the heating of the day. Sun's getting lower on the horizon, and what will happen, the farther east those storms get, the weaker they will get as well. Over the next 3 days, I see some more thunderstorms coming up tomorrow. Not all day, but in waves. 1 or 2 of those could be strong or locally severe. Can't rule out a late-day severe thunderstorm Thursday ahead of some better weather by the time we hit Friday. Storm Prediction Center highlighting much of Kentucky with a slight risk for severe weather as we go into the day tomorrow. Farther southeast, maybe a smaller threat for severe. Quickly this evening, what is out there begins to dry up, and it is a tropical atmosphere heading into tomorrow. The humidity levels will be sky high, leading to some thunderstorms, and any storm that goes up through tomorrow evening can put down just a ton of water and have a lot of lightning with those as well. Another strong thunderstorm or 2 on Thursday as temperatures make a run toward 90 degrees. Can't rule out a shower early in the day on Friday, but by that time, temperatures start to come down a little bit as some drier air works into place for the coming weekend. So we drop the thermometers behind that front. for a day or two, and then back toward the 90-degree mark into the first half of next week. Showers and storms out there right now, guys, beginning to weaken a little bit. Still, though, noisy for the next few hours.
We know you'll keep a close eye on it.
We'll be all over it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Brian, a longtime coaching figure returns to the sidelines.
High school basketball coaching legend Dave Fraley wants one more shot where he began coaching, while Nick Mingione gets his first shot as a head coach of the baseball Wildcats. You'll hear from him next.
You know that old saying, there's 1,000 ways to slice a grape? Well, tell Arby's about the other 999, because we're still stuck doing it this way. Every morning hand slicing grapes just for one seasonal sandwich. If Arby's does all this work for just one sandwich ingredient, imagine what kind of effort we put into the rest of them. I mean, is somebody back there cracking pecans? Arby's, we have the meat.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Lease the 2016 NX Turbo for $329 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
DQ funnel cake a la mode? Hold on. Coming
For the next hours. Cloudy tomorrow.
Funnel cake has a new home. The DQ Bakes new funnel cake a la mode with the world-famous DQ soft serve and your favorite topping. This is fan food, not fast food.
Funnel cake a la mode.
Someone else can get them dressed. Someone else can push the swing. Someone else can fix their lunch. Someone else can tuck them in. But they don't want someone else. They want you. Get checked for breast and cervical cancer. For information on free screenings, call 1-844-249-0708.
Learning never really ends. Every day we learn something new. But how often do we get to learn something exciting? Something artistic, creative, engaging, industrious? And how often do you get to pick and choose what you learn? Well, now you can. Berea, Kentucky's Festival of Learn Shops, July 8th through the 24th. Learn anything, learn everything. For more details, go to visitberea.com.
Let's hear it for bite, char, pop. Savory flavors that won't stop. Fire up memories for the whole family. Campfire meals unwrapping now at Cracker Barrel.
Do you want to lose weight quickly and safely? Do you want to be healthy for a lifetime? Kim did and lost 238 pounds at Ageless Medical Weight Loss. Betty did and lost 135 pounds. The Ageless program is a medically supervised, affordable weight loss solution. Call today for a free consultation.
One day after the announcement came of his hiring, new Kentucky baseball coach Nick Mingione addressing the media just moments ago. Mingione was the one man chosen out of 51 candidates to take over for Gary Henderson. His first tweet as UK coach said, excited to be returning home to UK baseball. Road to Omaha starts today. Mingione remembered coming to UK in 2005.
It was at that moment that I thought to myself, I want to call this place home. There was no doubt in my mind that this was a place that you could win at, and I'm just so excited to be back and to be the head baseball coach here because it was a dream of mine almost 11 years ago. So to be here in front of everybody, I'm really excited.
You'll hear much more from him tonight at 11 o'clock. John Calipari appearing today on national sports writer Mike Lupica's podcast to discuss a number of topics, including one of his favorites, how the NCAA tournament teams are seeded. Cal is one of several coaches named to an ad hoc committee that will make suggestions on the selection process. He hopes to share ideas and suggestions to help streamline the process and still be fair to the players.
how do we make it more transparent? How do we make it clearer so the kids don't have to wait on a day and say, wow, what just happened? It's not fair to the kids, and if that's how they feel, and a lot of times it is. And the committee, look, let me just say this. It's not an exact science. Our suggestions won't make it perfect. We're just trying to make it better for the players.
Calling himself a restless soul by nature, longtime high school basketball coach Dave Fraley is back in the game for one final ride. Fraley will end his career where it began some 45-plus years ago at Powell County. Fraley won regional championship with the Pirates in 1974, but is best remembered for winning the '86 state title at Pulaski County. For Fraley, he's eager to get going.
This is the last hurrah for me, absolutely, because I think my wife would just absolutely kill me if I tried to do this again. So this is it, and what a story to finish where you started. Is that not good? I think it is, and I'm just looking forward to that, getting the kids to work and hopefully have some good success here.
We will hear from him again at 11. Also, Kentucky Speedway will have a different look when NASCAR arrives in Kentucky next month for the Quaker State 400. 14 race teams were in Sparta this week to test out the new track that was recently repaved. One of the biggest changes was improving the subsurface and drainage system after last year's race almost didn't get underway due to heavy rainstorms for several days leading up to the event.
You know, with some of the circumstances that we had with trying to dry the surface during rain delays, essentially the weepers were just so bad that we could never get it dry enough. I mean, the racetrack was dry, but it was still weeping water hours later, days later. Hopefully that those situations have been well worked and well rectified, and that we won't have that situation going forward here, even when the track does age and get older.
So a big day of sports. More from Nick Mingione later tonight at 11. Sam, Andrea, back to you.
Thank you, Brian. A final check of your First Alert forecast is next.
Then on the CBS Evening News, stories of survival from Orlando. They're from some of the people who witnessed the attack at Pulse nightclub.